TitleMatchNetwork.com.
Did you wind up going to Memphis at all?
I spent some time. I don't remember when.
Was it there you went as Texas Scott? Was it?
No, I was never Texas Scott until I was working in Japan, and Vader, Leon White, who I knew from, he was the AWA guy, because he lived in Boulder, and he never moved to Minneapolis. They kept pressuring him to move to Minnie, but he never would.
Yeah.
So he'd just fly in, and I lived right by the airport, so he'd just knock on my door. Now here's this 400-pounder, knock on my door, and I'd answer the door, he'd go, hey, what's up? And he'd just walk in with his suitcase. I go, oh, hey, Leon, you want to stay with me? But so he had worked for Autovance in the CWA in Europe. And
that's right, CWA.
And I was on tour in New Japan he was in Vader, and I wanted to work. I wanted to work wherever I could, because I was getting no success in the U.S. So I was working Puerto Rico, Japan, and I wanted to get into Europe. So Leon, called Otto we were in the Kyo Plaza in Tokyo. He called Otto, put me on the phone with him. Leon put me over. Otto hired me. So I'm getting ready to go there. Then at the last minute, Otto calls me. I'm at home in Florida, and Otto calls me and goes, can you get a cowboy hat? I said, okay. Because at that time, to Europeans, anybody from America was a cowboy. So they billed me from Texas. So I was Texas Scott.
What do you remember about the Freebirds from back then?
Oh, man. I was such a mark for the Freebirds that, the same thing. Here's a couple of pros. These guys are pros. And they know, office wants the big muscle guy over. All right. Because now they've been in Dallas doing it.
Yeah.
Of course, Von Erichs were a lot more talented than I was at that point. But they knew, we're heels. We get paid big money putting these guys over. They knew it was fake. They had no problem with it. Michael Hayes, Terry Gordy, Buddy Roberts just would go out there. They would shine Kurt up. Then they'd get big heat on Kurt. They'd tag me. They would give me a comeback, unbelievable. And they would call it to me as they're doing it.
Yeah.
Like Buddy would say, slam me. And he'd go, watch for Michael. And then mine slam Michael, he'd go, watch for Bam Bam. And then here come Terry, say, boom. And he'd say, go back to Buddy. And, and they would just tell me as I'm doing it, because I'd be going, huh? What? Huh? But meanwhile, people were going, and then Michael would go, bow up. Come on, fire up. And I'd be going, yeah. And, they were fantastic. I was such a mark for the Birds that when Kev, Kid, and I became a package and we were at NWO, that's why I created Wolfpack. It was my idea because I wanted us to be the Wolfpack, because we were going to be the new Freebirds. There's 3 of us. We're different, but we're like real brothers. We fight with each other, but if you mess with one of us, you got to fight all of us. We don't dress the same, but we're the same colors. And we had they had Freebird rules. Like they're the tag champs, but you never knew which 2 of the 3 were going to defend the belts. And they all came to the ring together. Nobody else ever did that before. That's what we did.
Yeah.
And we were Wolfpack rules. And Terry Taylor, when we were working for WCW, the NWO stuff, used to go crazy because he was kind of working in the back. And Kid would be wrestling, or I'd be wrestling, Kev would be wrestling, and we'd all go out together. But he'd go, well, you guys are involved in the match. You're involved in the finish. We go, yeah, we know. But you're going out there together. The people are going to know that you're going to be involved. We go, I know.
Huh.
That's how we do it, man. To me, if one of my boys is in a match, I'm going to be out there. Because if he's winning, I want to be right there watching. And if he's losing, I'm going to help him. So why would I wait in the back? Oh, gee, he's in trouble. Let me run down the aisle. No, man, I'm going to be right there because I'm old and I can't run that fast.
Yeah.
I'm going to be right there ringside so I can get involved. Plus, I want that camera time. It's just how we did it. And we did it because I thought the Freebirds were the coolest thing in wrestling, and I was trying to rip off the Freebirds.
Huh. Now, something I want to ask you, because you were there at the time. We just interviewed John Nord 2 days ago.
Right.
And he was saying that in the AWA, he had a problem with some nights he would have to wrestle guys like Crusher and Mad Dog Vachon, who are obviously older. And here he was, a big guy, having to sell for those guys. And then he'd come back the next month against a younger guy. Nobody would really buy it after he was getting his ass kicked from the Crusher.
Well, like I was saying earlier, he should have been one of the biggest stars in the business. But, he had other priorities in his car business and different things.
Yeah.
I don't know his business, but I enjoyed being around him, and I thought he was money. But like we were saying earlier, is that it was in the era when the business was changing. Guys like Crusher and the Bruiser and Mad Dog and stuff, their time was coming to an end.
Yeah.
And they were talented and they had their following. But now you have a guy who's 6'6", 290 with a 35-inch waist,
Yeah.
like Nord, and looks like a young Brody. And the business was changing. There was a crossroads there. Like, you got to put these guys over a little bit, but the older fans are kind of still with it. But it's a new era of fans now because of television. Television it's not a house show business as much as it used to be. Now it's a television industry, and if you don't look the part, people don't buy it. Like, wait a minute, the old dude's beating up that big muscle guy.
Yeah.
Huh? So and I was in that situation. So it was a little bit. See, Nord was doing it as a heel. I was a big baby face and sometimes had to wrestle an older heel.
Yeah.
And people were going, well, how can you sell? And it was just what we had to do. You just had to try to get through it,
Yeah.
I mean, I can't really answer for you.
Mm.
I know what John's talking about, though. It was a weird time in our business.
What do you remember about your series with Buddy Rose and Doug Summers?
The same thing. Buddy Rose is a genius. He's a super talented heel and a good athlete to be a big chubby dude like that. He's a heck of an athlete. We didn't have as good a matches with them as the Rockers did, because I used to watch the Rockers work with them, and it was like looking at a real life cartoon. Because the Rockers back then, they wore the like zebra stuff on their legs and the zebra shirts and kind of a midnight rock. I mean, like the Rock and Roll Express sashes and bandanas. And you had them, and then Doug Summers was kind of tall and thin with the peroxide blonde hair, and Buddy was fat with the peroxide blonde hair. But if you sat back and watched it, it was like a cartoon, man. Their stuff was so smooth and boom, 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 boom. I mean, we had good matches with them, but it was the same thing. You had a couple of professional heels. Kurt could do his job. He knew exactly what he was doing, and I was being like featured and being groomed. I was just, everybody took care of me because some guys did it maybe because they liked me, and some other guys did it because that was their job, and they were professionals, and that's what they did.
Yeah. In WCW, what do you remember about your matches with Brian Pillman when he was the Dirty Yellow Dog?
I never wrestled him when he was Dirty Yellow Dog because he was a babyface and I was a babyface.
Oh, okay. I thought you guys did wrestle some matches together.
Well, maybe when I was a jabroni, like cowboy, like mustache guy, and then I don't think as a Diamond Stud I ever wrestled the Yellow Dog.
Okay.
Brian was really talented, was getting a big push, He was a good guy, good talent, and they liked him.
Yeah.
But like my career was I was so low on the food chain then that every once in a while I'd be thrown in a match, but I was so little consequence that I don't remember any of that stuff.
Oh, okay.
I know Brian did great. And actually that Yellow Dog thing was something that was ripped off that Barry Windham did in Florida.
That's right. Yeah.
That's when it was done right.
Yeah.
When Barry did it, it was sweet.
How did you go?
TitleMatchNetwork.com